Hi guys and welcome to Bomb Anime.
It's your girl Rika.
And Big Boy Summer here bringing you episode 10 of Black Summoner.
Yep, so it's carrying on from the last episode. I do want to say that in the last episode, they did show us that Rion was ill and that she had been ill for her entire life. She spent most of her time inside of the hospital. Her worldview was the window in the hospital and she died very young. So this is her first chance at life. So she's very grateful. She's going to be very attached to this world and she's going to form attachments to the people here very easily because this is like being reborn.
Yeah, I agree. Also, it's a kind of similar situation to Kelvin as well, in the sense that Kelvin took away his memories in order to gain this awesome powers that he has. And she didn't really have an experience of the real world in the first place. So they both know a little but not a lot about their past lives. And they both have made this life count so far.
Yeah, they're both starting off anew, and it really fits that they're now taking each other on as siblings.
Yes.
And I really liked this episode because everybody in the party seemed to share something with Rion in this episode. You had Sarah teaching her how to fish, the maids exercised with her, Gerard taught her swordsmanship, Kelvin gave her a pet. Like, he literally used one of his slots to get her a dog just because she had never petted one. And funnily enough, it worked well with her skills because she has a skill that allows her to understand and speak to monsters, I guess, or maybe beasts. We don't know exactly, but there's something there. She can understand this dog. So it was really nice that they showed us that. It felt like they were welcoming her in, and then I felt like it really worked well with the extended montage that they gave us with Rion's growth, showing her, and even near the end of the episode you saw that the way that she speaks changed. She looked a little bit taller, she sounded more mature. When we saw her at first, she was like a little toddler, you know, constantly running around. She'd never been able to run around. She's spent her entire life lying down in a bed watching everybody else live their lives. And then she got to this world, she was running around, she wanted to explore everything, and near the end of the episode you saw all of the changes that she had made, and she also had great upgrades in her clothing. We don't know what everything does, but you can already tell that Ethel has already kitted her out.
Yep, Ethel comes with the drip every single time, fam. Also, in this sense as well, like, the fact that everyone gave her something and she felt welcome and she's actually part of the crew and she was sent on her first mission and she was doing so much. Like you said, the brother-sister relationship makes sense because they're really brother and sister in situation. And because he's come before her into this new world, he is the big brother. There is no two ways about it. And it's really wholesome in that sense. And I like the way that the writers showed the montage. I like the way that the writers have actually cultivated this relationship as well. Because let's be honest, my man's running a harem. So the fact that some young little girl came in, me and Ruka were both like, whoa, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? And they didn't do it. Thank God. They chose to go the correct route and create an actual Oni-san or Ni-chan, whatever situation, without it being creepy and disgusting.
They also have Melfina, who was last to the scene. Okay, technically she's first, but like, you know, she wasn't really around until just, and yet she has strongly taken within her grasp that matriarchal role, that mother figure, that woman of the house, that wife role. She has cemented it. I know it's like weird to say, but I noticed that in the sleeping arrangements, Melfina is there every time. However, the other girls have like a weird rotation going on, so it seems like Melfina has
laid it down.
Yeah.
Put the stamp down. Been like, yo.
Yes.
You just better fall in line. This is my man, and I'm letting you borrow him.
And I did also like the way that they allowed Rion to go on her first mission, the way you were saying, and you had Sarah from inside watching and critiquing how well she was doing and how she could improve. The only thing I would disagree with is, come on, how can you talk about her with the sword that she was given? Just, okay, say I shoot guns and I go to the shooting range and I'm always firing rifles and then someone gives me a shotgun. Yeah, I know how to shoot, but do I know how to shoot this shotgun right now. Can I deal with that level of recoil? Guys, I don't shoot guns. This is the UK.
I was here listening to Rika going, when have you shot guns? What, are you a roadman? Nah, like, what?
Okay.
Like, how did you take it there?
If I fight with knives, it's the UK, yeah? If I fight with knives, I still don't know
knives. Why acting like you know something? So talk about it, you ain't about it. You ain't about that life.
Oh my, but I got these hands.
And you are Jamaican.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yo, but back on topic as well. Look, right before Rio was about to fight these guys, look, it's her first mission. She's never had to fight nothing before. She's been getting XP from, you know, just sharing from her high level party members, just been sharing XP, and she's never had to fight before. And she was not scared at all. Right beforehand, this is what she was doing. Thank you, brother. Thank you, sister. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad that you trust me.
Accepting an
I'm so
Emmy.
good. Look, I was like, she just won an award. You're about to take down 24 man or however many people there were. And she didn't even flinch. And then she went in head first, started duppying everyone and was like, yeah, I'm part of this family, get me.
Speaking of the everyone involved, these were actually a group of people sent from Trycen to come and take out Kelvin. At first, I didn't think that this was the case because I felt that Kelvin by now has a lot of popularity. A lot of people know exactly who he is. He came up the ranks so fast. He's well known. But now that we know it's Trycen, they are someone outside of this nation, so it does make sense that they didn't really know who he was. And also the Heroes Party took the credit for killing and taking out the people from Trycen that were trafficking humans. So they thought that Kelvin was just sort of on scene, he was just there and they just wanted to tie up their loose ends. This does leave questions too. Did a separate team, a stronger team, head for the Heroes and how they dealt with it? So hopefully we'll find out maybe next episode if that even happened. But these dudes from Trycen came to try and take out Kelvin. Didn't work out how they planned it.
Clearly.
And then we got to see the leadership side of Trycen and their plans for the future. So the mixed demon beast army general Trycen wants to go to war with the other three nations, Taraj, Demaris, and Guan, because he feels that they'll be able to take them out easily. These people in Trycen have been building up their military. They have been planning for this. This is their ultimate goal. Their ultimate goal is a a unification of the continent. They want to be the leaders of this, and they think that since everyone else has been enjoying peace, they haven't really been working on their military. They haven't really been trying to fight other enemies because it's peacetime. They have a leg up because they have actually been planning to wipe out the leaders of the other nations.
Yeah, so basically this is Avatar, the Last Airbender. The Fire Nation is basically Trycen, and the other three nations are the other three nations. And the Fire Nation think that they're going to take over and look after everyone, unify the whole continent and make sure that it comes under one rule. Yeah, great nod to Avatar, the Last Airbender. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but let's be honest, the dwarven guy Dan Dolba, who is the Iron Knights general, he disagreed vehemently with going to war, just like General Iroh did. I'm just saying, I mean, there was some parallels here, innit? And so hold tight that, look, the Emperor's sitting there listening to his generals and is about to listen to what they say about going to war or not. First of all, there was 4 generals saying yes or no, and the 5th general didn't even come to the meeting. And then you had to summon Clive, who, by the way, looks like a very psycho sicko, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be an interesting character, but very creepy. Why, guys? Because by now you should know that your contingent that you've sent out to go and take out these loose ends are no longer with you. At least do an investigation first. Do something, because bro, you're about to walk into the lion's den and you're gonna get bitten. Said it.
For me, we have just been introduced to quite a few interesting characters. General Zell seemed to take the whole thing as a funny situation, like he just liked watching everybody argue and complain, and he was enjoying it like it was bants. You just know that these guys are going to lose straight out of the gate. They can't agree with each other. You're telling me that you guys have one goal all together, but yet you still can't agree on when you should be doing it, when is the right time. You haven't discussed what that looks like. It's all very well and good to say that now is not the right time to do it, but if you don't have an idea of what the right time looks like, you're just flailing around. You guys did not do your due diligence. You did not find out about Kelvin. It wouldn't have taken very much to actually find out who he was and how strong he is and how many people he had in the house. They would have been able to actually figure out some of the spells that he can use. Not all of them, because he's hidden quite a lot of his skills, but he has fought enough people for them to at least know some things. And Kelvin doesn't kill a lot of people, he sends them to jail. So there are people that out there that have a grudge against Kelvin that would be more than happy to share this type of information with somebody else who wants revenge, but they didn't do that. They probably didn't even know how many people were in that mansion. It was a really poor plan. The levels of the people that were sent shows you that they didn't do any due diligence, because they weren't even slightly close to matching what they would need to match in order to even beat the very weakest of them. Let's just be honest. However, like I was saying, the characters that they've got are interesting, which is sad because it would be nice if they had a little bit of a chance. I feel like they don't have any chance because they're arguing amongst each other. They can't even sort it out between each other, let alone trying to fight with 3 nations at once. That's like not a good idea for anyone.
Okay, I hear you, Ruka. Like, don't get me wrong, I 90% am with you here. Kelvin's just one man. We don't know what the strengths of the generals are. Who knows? They may all be S rank at the same sort of level as Kelvin is. We don't know. It's probably unlikely, but we don't know. On top of that as well, 3 nations and Kelvin being one man with his party he can't defend all 3 nations. If they have been militarizing like they're saying they are, they can attack 2 nations and leave Deramis alone, so that Kelvin doesn't even catch wind of it until he catches wind of it and the damage has already been done. There's so many ways to do this. And Clive looks like a wild card. We don't know nothing about him. They intentionally made him mysterious, so he's probably hella strong. And what is he? He's the general of the Magic Knights. And you saw a lot of, let's say, lewd, weird, suggestive stuff. So he cares about how pretty he is. So that suggested to me that he's probably an old wizard who had learned to increase their life by doing stuff. So, like, who knows? Maybe Clive might be a match. I don't know. Look, listen, I do agree with you here. I feel like they're pissing in the barrel and then there's no chance of them getting it. But there are ways I can see if the writers decided to go a different route.
Seriously, Kelvin is not who I'm thinking about when I'm talking about the fight. It's 3 nations against 1. All those nations have soldiers. All those nations have adventurers and strong people. Kelvin, as far as I know, is not the strongest person in this world. Yeah. So I'm not judging it in that way. I'm saying that it doesn't really matter how skilled the bad guys are going to be, because they don't have any good recon. They don't even scout. That's like the very minimum. In war strategy games that I've played, I have to scout.
Yeah, you need to know what's going on.
You haven't collected any information. You guys are arguing amongst yourselves. You can't agree on anything. So how are you supposed to fight 3 separate nations if your communication is good? Like you said, they should already know that their task force did not come back. But they didn't know that, which means that the communication is terrible. They should have had someone there that did not take part in the battle, that was actually far away, that would have a skill similar to Ethel, where she can have far seeing, and that person would be in communication with higher ups to let them know exactly what's happening. But they didn't do any of that, which is what's making me say that they don't have a chance. Because if they're not doing these things, all they're going to have to rely on is how strong they are. Yeah. And how strong you are is not the only thing that wins a battle.
Absolutely not. Wars are not fought on the battlefield most of the time. Look, every war that you've ever seen ever that has been won or lost has never been won or lost on the battlefield. It has only been won when the politicians or the governments decide to end it. that is just the facts of life.
There's a reason why sanctions and things like that are used against countries that are not doing what you want them to do.
Yep, 100%. So this is going to be fun to watch, and I hope that they give it the time necessary. If we take what Ruka says as fact, like now, hypothetically, which I kind of feel it will be as well, this could be done in half an episode. And I don't want it to be. I kind of want them to long it out. So I want them to give it the correct amount of time for it to be worth it. I don't want them to just... And then they came, and then they lost. You know what I mean?
I doubt that's going to happen. Now, Black Summoner has a lot of shortcomings when it comes to the way that they have approached the story. They have missed out a lot of information we felt that should be included. But when it comes to actually the story and how they're progressing it, they don't miss out massive things like that.
True.
They'll miss out training. They'll miss out telling you exactly what type of skills people have. They'll rush things in terms of speeding up a character's progression, but when it comes to the part of the story, they don't rush that. So I don't think that we're going to have that kind of problem here. Like you were saying earlier, it looked like a really good setup to a season 2, and I think you're right when 100%. You say that. It's a nice setup for season 2. I don't think they're going to rush it in these last couple of episodes that we have, especially because, like I said, the characters that they've given us here, these bad guys, seem like really good bad guys from the little that I've seen of them.
Yeah, they look
and they have very different personalities to each other. So we're going to have a lot of different types of dynamics going on here that they can really lean into.
I can see some backstabbing as well and some traitors on both sides. So I feel like this might be a fun watch to happen. Also, I know this is a complete side note because I feel like we talked the war effort to death.
Yeah, we have.
What is red magic?
Okay, so from my little
Google.
Yeah, red magic is love and seduction magic, but also on the more gross side, if you guys have ever heard of spirit cooking, things like that would be involved. Like, they are potion makers and they do use bodily fluids, all types of bodily fluids that come out of all places.
Now I know. So on that note,
however, I don't know how far they're going to take it for an anime like this. They haven't described any of the color magics that they're using at all to us, and they haven't even shown it to us in effect. So it's hard to judge like how far they're going to push the boat. They could be on the nicer side, because you could really say that red magic would be like a succubus and incubus. Those types of beings would have like red magic.
Yeah, like Cambion, succubus, incubus, all of them.
Maybe they're gonna do it on like the nicer note. Possibly even General Clive.
Yeah.
Whatever he was doing in that room, it had like a purple mist. He might even be using red magic.
That's true. You know what? I can't wait to find out. I want to know what all the colours and the magics do. So do you guys want to know? Let us know in the comments. Also, if you do want to chat to us or know more about us or see anything else that we do, look at our Instagram. It's Bomb Anime Insta. All one word.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Peace.